Let's clean out my hydroponic garden and plant some new stuff in it. It's been a minute since I've used it. I tried to grow some Jimmy Nordellos in it and it didn't work, but I think I just didn't know what I was doing. I think it's like, you can't just put the seeds in and like, you know, you have to be intentional with what you're growing in here. So I'm just gonna do herbs this time because I want a bunch of fresh herbs. I hate when people are like, I'm scared, but like I am kind of scared. Ah! Okay, it's not too bad. It looks like a really gross pond. I keep like worn out sponges under my sink for gross projects. You want to wash them out really good before you like plant another round in them. The herbs have done well. I've never tried lettuce. I have tomatoes growing outside, so I'm not going to do tomatoes. I think I like gardening so much because I always secretly just wanted like 100 kids. I have like a real mother goose complex. I would never have a lot of kids though because I know how much work kids are. And as somebody who was one of a lot of children, it's just a different experience. You don't get a lot of time with your parents. You don't get a lot of attention. There's just no way a parent has time for multitudes of children. Plus like after giving birth, I was just like, ooh, I never want to do this again. And it wasn't even like hard. My labor was 2.5 hours. From start to finish. Well, I had Indy at home. Not like a hippie or anything. I just like, my family's like very prolific. I've seen a lot of hospital births and I was like terrified. I was terrified of them. And there's a lot of reasons why. I'm not like anti-Western medicine at all. Like at all. More just it was the episiotomy. I've seen so many episiotomies and if you don't know what that is, just look it up. I love birth stories. I want to know like everyone's birth story. Oh, let me tell you this really quick. When I was born, 1982, I was born so fast the doctor didn't make it to my birth. I was born in 2 hours, and I was born so fast I was born in my water sac completely intact and still full of the fluid. My mom always says I was born in a bubble. She's like, you just like came flying out. And then my daughter's birth was only 2.5 hours. Doctor wasn't there. I came out in a bubble, and then the nurse popped the bubble with her like pinky nail. Can you imagine a nurse doing that now and nobody freaking out about it? And then she said like all the fluid came out and I started crying. She's like, I thought I killed you. I had a cool experience with Indy too because I got up at like 4:30 in the morning, had to go to the bathroom, and there was like blood, and it's a day before my due date. I call my midwife and I'm like, tell her what happened. She's like, oh, you need to go back to sleep because, and I'm like, I was like standing looking outside and it's like dark out while we're having this conversation. She's like, well, you need to go back to bed because you're gonna need like all your strength. Call me back when your contractions start. I wasn't having any contractions yet. Like sitting there talking to her and all of a sudden just like my water breaks. Oh my gosh, I think my water broke. And she goes, well, do you think or do you know? And I was like, no, it definitely broke. And she was like, well, still, you know, it still remains you need to get back in bed. And about half an hour later, my contractions started. So around like 5 a.m., my contractions started. And then I called her. I was like, my contractions started. And she's like, okay, we'll be there in 45 minutes. They got there about 45 minutes later. It was already dilated to a 7. And she was like, oh my gosh. It's like, oh, I feel like I have to push. That's crazy. Because I have like barely, my contractions have only been going like maybe an hour, maybe 45 minutes. I'm like, I have to push. And they're like, go for it. Then it was just like being in the eye of the tornado. But yeah, from the time my contractions started to when she was born was 2.5 hours. No tearing, no nothing. Beautiful birth, beautiful baby. I was very, very lucky. I just didn't love it. I don't tell you how much after giving birth sucks. Like the first shit after you give birth is the most terrifying moment of your life, I promise you. Body things. Have my seed box. Let's do basil. Let's do dill, cilantro, peppermint. Basil. And the peppermint seeds are so tiny. I'm just gonna like pour a few of them in. Then we cover them with these little things, these little domes. And you don't even need to put the light on it right now. Wait until they sprout and then you put the light on it. And that's what she looks like.